Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2018 Disney Channel original movie, the DCOM film Zombies. So this stars Milo, Manheim, Meg Donnelly is in this. A bunch of other people are in this. This had a 2018 film, 2020 sequel, 2022 sequel. The 2022 sequel actually premiered on Disney Plus and then aired on Disney Channel. But the first two are technically Disney Channel original movies. The third film is technically a Disney Plus original film. We're going to talk about that, the differences as we go on. I never saw this franchise. I knew it existed for many a years, since 2018. Matt Cornick is a character in the third film, and I really wanted to see the films in general because it's spooky season. And now the third and final film came out, I was like, okay, we'll watch the trilogy, get spookified. We're going to have a grand old time. And Matt is just an incredible human within regards to real life, but the High School Musical, the musical series, all four seasons of his character of VJ is just great. So I was like, okay, let's finally sit down, let's finally watch it. We've been doing our little mini marathon of other DCOM spooky films, getting prepped for Halloween. So here we are. We're talking about it. This is based on an unaired pilot. I don't know what company was supposed to produce it, but it was like a 2012 pilot that just nothing happened to it. It was called Zombies and Cheerleaders. And so here we are now, all these years later. 2018 is when the film version of the pilot episode debuted. A lot of this film is a film, and then there's random musical numbers thrown in. So it's a little disjointed as a musical, and I wish it had more control of being a musical, but this was awesome. That's my one complaint, is that there was not enough music in the musical. That's my one complaint. That's it. I'm watching this film and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just another version, a new version of Hairspray. And the ending cheerleading competition of the zombies and the humans dancing together, I'm like, bro, this is literally You Can't Stop the Beat. Little Inez is dancing, at the dance competition versus Zed's younger sister dancing in the cheerleading competition. I'm like, bro, it's the same thing, and it works so well, and I have no complaints that it's the same exact thing. So, this movie's all about race and racism and integration. And then Tracy Turnblad is just in the back of my mind screaming, I'm all for integration. It's the new frontier. Bro, I love Hairspray. I loved it on Broadway. It was just incredible. I love the 2007 movie musical version of the 2002 Broadway musical version, which is based on the 1988 film. So much Hairspray. So Hairspray all around. But it was so funny watching Zombies with Milo as the main character of Zed and Addison's main character being played by Meg. Iconic actor and actress that they are both. And then having this Hairspray just sounds and just nostalgia coming back to me. Watching this, I'm like, it's the same fight. It's the same fight about treating people equally for many a decade. And it's interesting seeing it from a new perspective. So you have this zombie perspective. It's not about the color of skin. It's a matter of how did you become who you are? Do you have to hide who you are? But it's a biological discrimination, not so much a racial discrimination. But it's racism, because the zombies are a race, according to this, and it's fine. But they explain it. The first 7 minutes of this film is how they became zombies in this town of Seabrook, how they had to build a wall to separate the humans from Seabrook zombies, that there's Zombie Town versus Seabrook itself, and that 50 years later, they have this modern technology, and this green gas started from a chemical accident with lime soda at a factory in Seabrook, and that's what caused these individuals to turn into zombies. But the zombies can have lives and families and can reduce their zombie urges of brain eating by wearing these Z-bands, which pulse out this electrical stimulant that helps them zombify stress. And we see that in Voltage, which was on Amazon Prime, an incredible show that it was, which reminded me a lot of Guns Akimbo. It's just so cool watching one thing and it reminds you of this, it reminds you of that, and you see bits of that, and you have bits of this. This film just made me just go do one of those loops, constantly, that train of thought loop. It was just really cool. So to have that integration of the students come into this one high school, to have them prove their worth, that they can sit in the same cafeteria, that they can play on the same football field, things, right? So Zed, played by Milo. Milo, you can say it many ways. Every time I hear Milo, I keep thinking of Avatar: Legend of Korra, which is everybody screaming Milo, and that's just how I hear it. So Milo or Milo, I might be Milo, but that's just how I keep associating Milo. And then Meg's name is Meg. What I also love is that Meg was the main character on American Housewife, which is an ABC show, one of my favorite shows. It's absolutely hysterical. The fourth season's Halloween episode, the third season's Halloween episode, one of those is one of the funniest episodes of anything I've ever seen in my life. And it was just so wonderfully, perfectly executed, hysterical. I have to watch it every Halloween. Anyway, Meg's character in the show is auditioning to be Audrey in High School Musical, in Little Shop of Horrors, and she has this school friend who's trying to worm his way into being her boyfriend slash lead singer co-partner in the show, playing Seymour, and that happens to be Milo's character. So to have Milo and Meg act in another property and sing together via American Housewife, but also have them in singing and acting together in 3 different zombie films, it's really cool. I said this many times, I love watching actors and actresses who work very well together play other roles together, and they do a great job doing that. So it was neat a little seeing that, because I've loved American Housewife for so long, and I was so upset when they took it off and they canceled it. It was just left on such a beautiful cliffhanger with Katie holding the pregnancy test and Meg's character saying she was getting married, and it was wonderful. Anyway, back to this. The comparison to Hairspray will just be, I have no qualms with that. I like that there's a new generation capable of seeing this, because Hairspray touched many generations within that racism aspect, integration into the new frontier. But it was neat seeing it again from a different perspective. So now you have technology involved, you have different modern slang terms involved, but it's still just people trying to be themselves. And why do people hate people for being themselves? And why can't people just like people for being themselves? It's very interesting. It was interesting seeing another take on it. Another thing I really liked is the whole zombie warehouse dancing club scene in the blacklights. That aesthetic, bro, was just so gorgeous. I immediately got transported back to Teen Wolf season 3, when they had the blacklight party on Halloween, and the who is this? Then it gets as the Oni, when the Oni are doing the self check on people with the backwards fives behind the ears, and like they're dropping like flies. But that's exactly what it reminded me of. I'm like, bro, is Simone gonna come around? Are we gonna get some samurai swords thrown about? I was excited, but didn't happen. But whatever. But it just reminded me of so many things, and it was fun. It was an hour and 20-something minutes. It's a decom. I was very impressed. I didn't watch it for a long time because I thought it was cheesy. And some parts are cheesy, don't get me wrong, but the underlining message of this was pure, how do we live, not in a post-apocalyptic world, how do we live in a post-racial society? Can we get to a post-racial society where it does not matter if you're a zombie or you're a human? We can live together, finally, as one. Work together, we not me. I've been saying this for so many recent reviews, bro. We not me. It's just, I gotta get a t-shirt. We not me. I'm sure it exists. I didn't create the saying. Somebody else did. I've just been using it a lot because it's true. We not me. We not me for this entire franchise. I'm already calling it. We not me for this film in general. I just wish this had more music. It didn't have enough music to be a musical. The musical numbers were great. The harmony was flawless. But if this wasn't a musical, it would have still been a great film telling a predictable comparative story to Hairspray, but the same message still comes across. That's the point of this. The aesthetic was wonderful, that zombie aesthetic. The pink and green colors of Seabrook, very cool. I like the pastel aspect versus the grungy, punked zombie aspect. It was just such aesthetically pleasing to look at, and that's all we can hope for, right? A great story, great film, great music, great character development, great characters, great actors, great talent. Did I say songs? Great songs. Great decom film. 5. Great start of a trilogy. Happy spooky season. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.